just to start this, okay? Because okay, fine. I love Ridley Scott.
Sorry, you're mumbling.
I am mumbling. I'm rambling. I really like Ridley Scott. I think Ridley Scott is a much better director than people give him credit for. Certainly in the area of storytelling. I mean, it's been the great sort of thing that people say is he's a great visual director because he came out of advertising, and his films look wonderful. Blade Runner, you know, all those kind of fantastic worlds that he creates, and yet he doesn't know how to do stories and he doesn't know how to do actors. Well, this is nonsense. Anything from Thelma and Louise onwards demonstrates that he is very much a storyteller and he is an actor's director. I think possibly he wasn't, and I think that's why the whole Harrison Ford Blade Runner fallout happened, because Harrison Ford still has a problem talking about Blade Runner. I think that Ridley Scott is much more akin to, you know, that kind of working with actors and getting the best out of them than people give him credit for. It's therefore strange that in the case of Kingdom of Heaven, we seem to have taken a step back to the old Ridley Scott of yore, in which what you get is spectacular visuals, a lush world created from nothing, and in the middle of it, characters essentially getting lost within the landscape. Now, there's much to say about the problems of the movie itself, which I have to say I don't think works. It commits the greatest crime of all, which is that it's boring, which is the last thing I would expect from a Ridley Scott film. I was a great champion of Black Hawk Down, which a lot of people really hated. A lot of people thought it was politically
You almost had fisticuffs on Newsnight, as I recall.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was basically accused of sort of supporting a racist movie. But the interesting thing with Black Hawk Down was I thought Black Hawk Down was incredibly nihilistic, and it was about the horror of modern warfare. What Kingdom of Heaven tries to do is to take a 12th century story and impose a 21st century multicultural sensibility on it. And at the centre of it is a character played by Orlando Bloom, who basically has to be a good crusading Christian who actually, hey, really gets on well with all other cultures and all other religions, and basically thinks that Jerusalem should belong to everyone so that we can all share and care. Now,
that's not quite believable in a Crusader.
Well, it may be believable with another actor. But the problem with Orlando Bloom is, according to Orlando Bloom himself, the thing that projects that takes his character to Jerusalem is at the beginning of the movie, his wife has died, he's discovered this thing about his father, he's in hell. I'm sorry, Orlando Bloom never looks like he's in hell. He looks like he's a bit cross that there's not enough froth on his cappuccino. He looks like he may be a bit peaky that morning. He looks like, you know, perhaps the lip balm didn't turn up in quite the right frame. He does not look like a man in hell. And much as I've had problems in the past with Russell Crowe, at least Russell Crowe looks like the kind of man who would do damage, and that's why Gladiator works. But Orlando Bloom cannot carry the weight of the movie. And I was just doing some trivial checking on this. This is so lovely. On the IMDb trivia search, it tells
Internet Movie Database.
Internet Movie Database. It says this about Orlando Bloom, and in a way, and then I'll take a pause, in a way, this kind of sums up the problem with Bloom for me. Orlando Bloom suffered from a month of flu during the shoot, and he also hurt his hand while sword fighting. Well, I'm sorry. If that doesn't tell you everything about what is wrong with the central character in Kingdom of Heaven, he does not look like a man who is, on the one hand, bearing this huge weight of Christian history, on the other hand, bringing on board these other religions and bringing them together this huge... No, he looks like a man in a nursery. And that is a central absence in Kingdom of Heaven. Where's the hero?